Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Hey, it's beautiful. I just finished a post, but by the time I walk away, the spirit is still generating energy, and I see something else I want to say to you. So, for those of you who got some time and can lend a moment, I'd like to share this particular post with you. You remember men like Malcolm X, men like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They both stood for righteousness, and they both were murdered. They were young, 39 years old. Whew, young men. Others, as Medgar Evers and James Meredith and John Lewis and Andrew Goodman and James Chaney and Michael Schwerner, Viola Loizio, maybe some of the Kennedys, I'm not too sure about that, but John Brown and many others. These are remembered. Will you be? And what for? Is there one white person in current America, the USA portion of America, that has had the reputation of standing and demanding justice for all people, black and white alike? Is there one American white person that put their life on notice that justice and fairness is required? History records and remembers people like Bull Connors, and Ross Barnett and George Wallace. The ones that you're not to talk about. You don't want to be teaching about. You want to forget it. Norm Thurman's. And even the current guys such as Senator Cruz, Senator Graham, Senator McConnell, and the rest, all of the rest. Are there any people of God? And I'm not talking about people of the Bible stories that can represent God. How are you to be remembered? Listen, during the 80s, I pursued the office of U.S. President. I offered everything that every one of you, except evil, wanted. I offered change that would promote basic human rights for every American. But America was uninterested. That I had to run as a write-in. Now you know how that outcome was. Now over the next 30 years, I made the effort several times. And several times, same outcome. No interest by the media, no interest by the church, no interest by the Democrats or the Republicans, no interest by whites or blacks, or family or friends. And today, even today, I haven't given up on the human race. Righteousness is as a foreign language. It sounds good, but reject it for its simplicity. Rather than righteousness, some would rather a Republican or a Democrat or a dictator. Again, the choice is always with the people. But I acknowledge that we as people across this country have not been taught about righteousness. We just talked about that as something that could happen. And that if you allowed your individuality to participate in that which could happen, that one day after you die, there's a future for that. And that is pushed by a book called the Bible, and I'm sure others. But there's a reality, ladies and gentlemen, of a spirit of love that says there is a path that will lead you to that life today. And the reason that you're not there today is because you're following a path that's leading you to right where you are. Now, if you thought you were better yesterday and you think you're worse today, what do you think will happen tomorrow on the same path? So I have no problem, ladies and gentlemen, to stand before you and say that after I have talked to you about all of those things and offered you all of those things, that you get on your knees and pray to God to bring to you, whether you're praying to the God of righteousness or the God of evil. And you sit here and these things can be actually made manifest and you're rejecting them. Why? Not because you think they aren't righteous. You know they're proper, at least if to you. But why do you do what you do? You do it because you don't believe it can happen. You go against it because it's too good to be true. You don't believe it can happen. And what do you base your belief on that it can happen? It's on the fact that you yourself join that team that will not cause it to happen. You stand up against it. Pray for it, but stand up against it. Pray for it and stand up against it. And every year that I was running for president or governor or mayor or United States senator, telling you about the wonders of God's love, and you going back talking about that nigga crazy, I'm not laughing at you. I feel sorry for you because still, I have to stand here before you. Why? Because to whom much is given, much is required. I know you're doing everything you possibly can to make heaven happen, even if you have to do everything that you're doing, and it's still not working. But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if I didn't know what I was talking about, I would be doing just like you. But since I know, I got to show. And so, what would I give for just a few moments each day to stand before you and share with you what has been given to me freely? I'm not selling it. I'm not selling CDs, booklets, brochures, airtime, or nothing. I'm giving to you freely what has been given to me. Maybe that's why you reject it. But it's all on you. I love you, ladies and gentlemen, not because I'm so loving. It's because the God of your creation loves you and happens to live in me. So I have to act like I act. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say, goodbye.